Hey there guys, what is going on? We are back with another tier list on the Tier Maker website, of course, and today we are ranking all of the Cold War maps in Season 3. Now do keep in mind that this is a Season 3 map tier list without Standoff, as that has not come out yet. I expect that to be out probably in about 2 weeks or so with the mid-season update in Cold War Season 3. But just before we do jump into it here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on if you do want to see me take a look at these tier lists in the future. Make sure you don't miss out on any of that by hitting that little subscribe button. But we have got 16 maps here to rank, and some of them are very, very good, and some of them are very, very bad. If we were to explain our tiers here, of course, we have the GOATed tier, which are some of the best maps the game has ever seen, no doubt about this list. We got very good in the second tier, which are maps that are very, very good, obviously. Maps that don't have too many flaws, but can play in interesting ways and are usually very, very good in most situations. In the next tier down, we have pretty good maps that are fine, maps that are basically middle of the road. Nothing too special about them, they're fine, you enjoy playing them. Then we have the not bad tier, and these are maps that are very, very forgettable. Maps that you don't typically remember after you've played them, nothing super exciting happens on these maps. And then of course we have the last tier, which is the dumpster, and these are some of the worst maps the game has ever seen. Just always leave the lobby when these maps come up, in my opinion. I do not like these maps at all. Of course, you will notice that the tier list thing is a little off center. I don't know what the go is with that. I think the website's broken or something like that. That's never happened to me before, but that's the positioning it is going to be in, I guess, for some reason. Now, keep in mind that not all of you will agree with this tier list, so leave a comment letting me know what I have got wrong, what I've got right, and what you would change on this list. So, of course, our first map that we do have here is Apocalypse. Now, I actually think Apocalypse is very, very good. I actually really, really like Apocalypse. I'm probably the #1 Apocalypse fan in the entire universe. I really just like how it is nice and close quarters. There's really, really interesting fights a lot of the times. There's some long range, there's very close range. Like, it's all around a very good map in my opinion. And of course, given that we have said very good about 6 times here, we are going to put this in the very good tier. I really like Apocalypse, if you couldn't tell. I should have mentioned this previously, but we are only really mentioning this 6v6 versions of these maps, like the Armada stuff. I mean, we're not really including the big open, like 5-tier boats. We're not including that. This is just Armada Strike here. And Armada Strike, I figure, is an okay map. It's like one of the most it's fine. There's nothing really that stand out about it. There's that zip line in the middle. There's a lot of different routes that you can take. But for the most part, it just feels a little sort of forgettable. There's nothing too significant about that map. And it's not the most exciting map. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it is an acceptable Call of Duty map. So we can put this in the not bad tier, and I think we can be pretty happy with that. The next map that we do have here is Cartel. And there's not really much to say about Cartel, except there's the bushes. There's the really annoying long lines of sight, and there is the dust that sort of hovers across the map. I don't know what the obsession with this weird sort of dust effect on some of these maps is, but Cartel does have it the worst. It reduces visibility basically to very, very short distances, and it's just hard to see, especially for someone like me who is red-green colorblind. I don't need all the extra clutter and stuff to make it a little bit more difficult to see. You know where Cartel belongs, and there's not really much else to say about this. So Cartel, you can go with the dumpster tier. If they got rid of the bushes and they got rid of that dust haze, kind of weird sort of dust that floats across the entire map, this map would be okay. It'd still only push up probably to like the not bad tier, and that's sort of that's really all you can say about Cartel. Checkmate, the next map that we have up here, and this is a pretty good map. It's pretty simple. Like, there's a lot of interesting things that you can do on this map. There's the long lines of sight down either sides and just to the middle of the plane. You can get underneath the plane for a bit of close quarters combat. You can even get inside the plane for really close quarters combat if that is your thing. You get your shotgun out, you get your akimbo pistols, you sit in a corner and you just wait for people to walk into you. It's a lot of fun sometimes. Sorry, probably try and avoid the plane for the most part if you don't just want to get deleted by people. But this is a cool map. I really do appreciate it. It does make streaks it does make airstreaks pretty useless most of the time, as they can't really shoot in through the top windows, and it's just, but I think that Checkmate is a pretty good map. It's nothing spectacular, but it's pretty good. It's better than the not bad tier. Now, Crossroads Strike has probably been a little overrated in this game. When it did first launch, people were like, this is the best map in the game. And at that point, they were probably right, because it was really the only close quarters, fun, fast-paced engagements. It was basically the Nuketown of this game before Nuketown existed. So everyone was just jumping into this map as much as possible because it was the only place you could get real close quarters consistent action all the time. Now that there is these maps that do have constant close quarters action, I feel like this map does go by the wayside a little bit. Crossroads Strike is still a pretty good map. You do get, as I said, that close quarters action, but it can be a little repetitive. There's only really so many times you can play Crossroads Strike without just sort of falling asleep. But it is a pretty good map at the end of the day. The next map that we do have on our list here is one of the brand new maps in Season 3, which is of course Diesel. Now, a lot of people think that Diesel is very interesting. It is so fast-paced. If you are looking for fast-paced, close quarters action, Diesel is the place for you. It very much reminds me of Nuketown, where people are literally just running around everywhere, Getting nice and close quarters and people is good vibes on this map. I think that is a little bit different to Nuketown, however, as there is that long line of sight on the road where snipers can sit behind those trucks and basically just pick off anybody who does try and get into the close quarters action, which is a little lame. Most of the time I do avoid sort of the roadside and try and play towards the back half of the map near the motel and across the back side of the gas station, and that can cause problems sometimes, but I still think this map is very, very good, man. That close quarters action is very, very exciting. The map is super small and there is a lot of action all of the time, so we can put this in a very good tier. This is a good map in my opinion. I really do like Diesel. The next map that we do have here is Express, and you know all about Express. When they did add this thing, people were like, yes, this is such a good map. Everybody knows why Express is good. It's just so consistent. It plays really nicely. It's that symmetrical feel that you do get from being able to sort of jump in and out of one of the stairways and then jump onto the tunnel, shoot somebody, run around to the other side of the tunnel. It's just really, really good. The flow is really nice on this map. It's not too big. It's not too small. There's a lot of close quarters action. There's some sniping, there's a bit of long-range combat, there's something for everybody on Express. You can play however you want, you can get in and out of the trains, nice close quarters stuff. There's a lot of options, so I think that, of course, Express is in the goated tier. This is one of the best maps that they've ever added to the game, and that is why they brought it back from Black Ops 2. Garrison is the next map that we have on this list, and I'm pretty sure most of you forgot that Garrison existed if you've been spending a lot of time in these specific playlists, like 24/7 stuff. Garrison is just such an uninspired map, man. It's just a tank factory. It's basically just a box that you run into, sprint, die, do it all over again. There's nothing bad about this map. I don't think Garrison is a super terrible map by any stretch of the imagination. It's a fairly standard Call of Duty map. Sprint around everywhere, getting nice close quarters action, and just blast people away. However, I don't think it's a fantastic map. It's sort of limited in what you can do. It is quite small, and it's not as much fun as those other close quarters small maps like your Nuketowns. And so we are going to put this in the not bad tier. We view this similar to how we do Armada Strike. It's sort of close quarters, and then other times it's a bit like long lines of sight through, say, the middle of the tank factory. This is not a map that I do favor, and I will play it from time to time, but it's not one of my favorites. The next map that we do have here is the original Miami. Now, you know all about Miami. This massive map with those very long lines of sight, sort of super frustrating place to run around for the most part. Like, I really don't like Miami, but they did improve this map in Miami Strike, and we'll talk about that more in a second, but at that, it's just... Oh, Miami just brings back bad vibes, man. It just reminds me very much of when they released Piccadilly originally in Modern Warfare. Just bad. Like, just not good. Just super large, super frustrating, just really not good. The night made it very, very hard to see people on this map. I don't think we need to talk about Miami too much more because it just makes me mad, man. So we're going to put Miami in the dumpster tier, and then we can talk about Miami Strike, which is actually one of my favorite maps in this game. It is very, very good. The way they've redesigned this map makes it a lot more close quarters action, a lot more consistent to run into people. You're not just running around for 5 minutes trying to find someone. You die, you do it all over again, and you run around for everywhere. This is really, really good close case combat. There's a lot of options here that you can go with. You can even still get your long range combat if you do go on the roadside near those cars and stuff. You shoot down those long lines of sight. It's a lot of fun. And then for the most part, you spend a lot of your time running in and out of corridors with shotguns, SMGs, whatever you do prefer. There's a lot of combat here. There's a lot of things for everyone. I really, really like this map. I think the way they have improved this probably bumps it up a little couple of scores for me, personally, because I really do like Miami Strike, and I hate Miami originally. So this is a really, really good map in my opinion, so we're going to put it in the very good tier. The next map that we have here is Moscow, and I think this is a map that is fairly forgettable. We won't be seeing Moscow or Moscow, depending on how you do want to pronounce it. We won't be seeing this in Call of Duty's future, and that's sort of one of the reasons how we do sort of describe these maps. I would almost class very good tier as maps that we may see in the future, and then maps that are in the not bad tier, dumpster tier, and lower. Really not good, man. Like, so again, Moscow in the not bad tier. I don't really like this map, but it's not terrible. I feel like we don't need to spend too much time talking about the next map, which is of course Nuketown. You know Nuketown is goated, man. Close quarters combat, bit of something for everyone, bit of sniping, bit of close range combat. It's just good, man. Nuketown, there's a reason they keep bringing back Nuketown. It's like the fourth, fifth, sixth iteration of Nuketown now, if you count COD Mobile. Nuketown's good, you know that. Raid, of course, is another one of those maps that I have brought back from previous Call of Duty games, and it is one of the best maps that they've ever made, man. You just get something for everybody again. You get a lot of close quarters combat depending on where you are fighting. Even in some of the long range areas, you can still get close quarters combat, blocking off lines of sight so you can actually move around. There's just a lot of good things about Raid. Of course, this goes in the goated tier, man. I really, really do like Raid. I mean, that's not really a hot take or anything. Like, that's just sort of common knowledge that Raid is a very, very good map. You get close quarters combat, long range, mid range, whatever you want. Good objective gameplay. Really good stuff to like about Raid. Now, Satellite is the next map that we do have on this list. And again, Satellite is one of those maps that we're probably not looking forward to seeing in more Call of Duties. And I don't think it'll go anywhere other than this game. you fight over the big high ground, and that is literally the entire map. And if you don't want to fight over the high ground, you go into the dunes and you fight sniper style, and that is... Oh, that's really it with this map. It's just not a good map for me, but it's not one of the worst maps that I've ever seen. I think we can put it in the not bad tier and sort of forget about Satellite because I don't like to play this one when it comes up, but I will sometimes and just sort of have an okay time. The next map that we have here is the Pines. Now, this is the mall map. Now, a lot of people might not like this map due to it's just being a little strange. It's not really symmetrical and it does have long lines of sight. There's a lot of combat for everyone. I actually just changed my tier that I'm going to put this in right now. I was going to put this in the not bad tier, but I think we can put this in the pretty good tier instead. I feel like now I think about it, there's a lot of combat that is for everyone. You can run in and out of the right side of the map with all the stores and stuff, get nice close quarters combat. In the middle, there's a lot of long range stuff as there's that big open courtyard. That's really cool. I like that sort of idea. There's a lot of ins and outs to this map. There's like secret corridors that you can go down. There's a lot of different things that I actually like about this map, but it's not one of the best that I've ever seen, but it's definitely not one of the worst that I've ever seen. I was going to put this in the not bad tier, but I actually think we can put this in the pretty good tier instead, because it's a pretty acceptable map. I actually do like this one whenever it does pop up. I have a good time on this map. Now, the last map that we do have on this list here is Yamantau, and I think, again, this is another one of those maps that does take from previous sort of ideas. It's a very long corridor, 3-lane map, and it does very much remind me of Summit from previous games. There's basically combat for sort of everyone. You can get those long lines of sight as well. You can get up close and quarters. There's high ground to fight over. There's different ways you can move around the map quite easily. Again, there's another sniper corridor on either side of the map if you do want to play those long lines of sight. There's a bit of something for everyone. I think it is another pretty good map. I don't really want to say that it is a very good or a goated map because I don't think it's that good in terms of quality, but I do have a good time on this. When I was playing the 24/7 playlist on this thing, I had a lot of fun. I really did learn the ins and outs of this map. It's a lot of fun to sort of jump up and in and out of like the high ground. In that sort of like the zipline room, you can really control that. And if you do control that, you control a lot of the map. And it's more sort of the middle maps here in this list. And again, lastly, we don't have this on this list, but Standoff, you already know about Standoff. We didn't even have to rank this on this list. It's not even out yet, but you know where Standoff is going to go. It's going to go in this one, but we don't have it yet, so we can't sort of make a judgment on how it is going to play in this game, but we already know it's going to be good, man. Standoff is just such a good map. And that's it here. All the maps in Cold War Season 3 have been ranked. We've got a couple of goated maps, a couple of very good maps, a fair few pretty good maps, more not bad maps, and a couple of maps that we really don't want to talk about anymore, including Cartel and Miami. That's no surprise to anyone. I'm sure nobody really likes those maps. If you're a massive Miami fan, make sure you leave a comment. Not Miami Strike, because Miami Strike's actually really good. Miami Original at night. If you like that, please let me know, because we need to have a talk. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this one. If you do want to see more tier list stuff, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. I think we're still going to be looking at sort of the tier list of each of the guns in each of the categories. Still, we've got to get back to that. And of course, I will see you in the next video. Bye!